everybody, Fantasticairy here, back with another video. It's been a couple weeks, I've been working full time, and with the topping on the cake, I also got sick. So I've been struggling with a cold. Hopefully it's not too noticeable in my voice for this week's video. Speaking of this week's video, I'm actually sharing with you my sketch process for a painting that I will be working on for this video. So here's some little clips of me just sketching out a skeleton, of course. If you're new here, I do like to paint skeleton illustrations. I try to at least once a month, kind of incorporated with organic and nature, and I was inspired by my last video of berries and branches to paint the skeleton, maybe possibly surrounded by berries and branches. My concept kind of changes throughout the video, or as I was painting this. I had a few changes in mind, and I'm still pretty satisfied with the end result that I'm happily able to share with you guys. So here's the final sketch. It's pretty simple. I just wanted to sketch out the main skeleton as it is a little bit of a complicated shape with different kinds of bones and anatomy. For the background, I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to go with the flow with this one. Trust the process. And then after I paint on my layers, of course, I will take a kneaded eraser and erase the pencil marks underneath, just to clean up the illustration a bit more. On to the painting process. I start off with a yellowish brown tone, very light in value, lots of water. I just want to get that first layer on so that I can blend in some other colors while the paint's still wet. Using my round 02 brush, I'm just going to fill in the whole skeleton with this one shade, keeping everything cohesive. And I'll take some brown and I'm going to let the water do its thing, the wet on wet technique, letting everything blend together naturally, kind of just putting in places where I believe it's going to be a little bit darker in value and saturation. This part was tricky as the shape is pretty complicated. My sketch wasn't super finalized. I like to keep my sketches quite rough for these watercolor illustrations, just to keep things loose and organic and not too tight. As I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go and fill in the gaps around my background with some water, again with a similar light in color value of yellow. I'm using a 10 round brush for this part. And I'm going to splash in some reds, oranges, and greens in light colors and light values and let those blend together naturally. As you can see, I got this backsplash of mixed colors and it gives me a rough idea of the palette that I want to work with. After that dries, I added in a little bit of a darker green value over top of the lighter values that I painted. I'm going to take my 01 liner brush and I'm going to paint in these squiggly lines. I had this idea of these thin branches or vines coming down into the skeleton's hand. So I used a dark value of green around the skeleton all over the page. I wanted them to come down into the hand and wrap themselves around certain features of the skeleton's fingers and wrists, so I'm adding in those gently, trusting the process as I go. This part was super satisfying to paint, kind of just letting the natural lines stay thin and organic, letting little tiny branches branch off individually, also keeping in mind my composition. As you can see, I've added a few more squiggly branches around the skeleton, and I'm going back to the skeleton now so that I can fill in some more contrasted areas and shape in that skull and define it a little bit more, using a brown color that I eventually desaturate a little bit and make more darker. As I wait for that to dry, I'm going to go back over to the border of my page, and I'm going to use this round number 8 brush to create these leaf-like shapes all around the border with a darker value of green with Payne's Gray. And now the fun part, I'm going to dot in some berries all around these little tiny branches. From here on, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the final reveal with some music, and I'll see you at the end for the end result. satisfied with how it turned out. There's a couple things I would have done differently if I could redo this piece. I feel I went a little bit too dark in some areas, and the hand got a little tricky in the end. But that's okay, because I'm learning from this piece and I'll take that on to my next. I'm just glad that I was able to get a skeleton illustration in for this month. I only have a couple more pages of the sketchbook, so I'll be excited to share with you guys the remaining 2 pages of the sketchbook. Painting these colors was really fun. I like how the yellows, the greens, the purples, and the reds with the orange kind of mesh well together with the tones of the skeleton. And a lot of the skeleton isn't finished, but I feel like the piece focuses on more of the skull and the hand. In the future, I might make another piece like this, but focus a little bit more on other details. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for waiting patiently for another video. Uploads are every Friday. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helped me out. And I love all the comments that I read below. It really makes my day. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. If you want to find me on the social medias, the links in the descriptions below, as well as my imprint shop where you can purchase prints and stickers of some of the skeleton artwork I've done thus far. And this one will be going on the imprint shop shortly. Again, videos are every Friday, so I'll see you guys next week with another video. And thank you so much for watching. Okay guys, bye bye!